I'm gonna start at 2:40, but we
Okay.
had 3 and somebody else outside on the
At
radio.
2:40,
Yeah, we could have started, but now it's now 3 o'clock. No, we could have started at 2:40.
3 o'clock.
Patience.
Start at 3 o'clock. Welcome everyone.
Your question was if everybody have an agenda, answer is no.
You didn't get it? You didn't get the email?
Give some time, sorry to do. Keep it up.
The first item on the agenda is the scheduled date for the acceptance of the testing of the TS-2200 tabulating machine.
No.
This- Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I heard it read up this morning, the August 5th and 6th it is.
Now, on 5th and 6th. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. What would you like? You are Amanda?
Yes.
Oh, this is Amanda.
Yeah.
This is Arturo.
Hi, Rosemary.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
The testing of these machines, no, are they testing them for general public or they coming to advise the board on the machines and its capability?
Okay.
Which one is, where is it?
Miss Benjamin has been the person coordinating the information with ESNL. As it correct name, Miss Benjamin?
Yes, and that's election system and software.
Is that the ESNL?
Actually, it's
And so she will speak to that.
It's acceptance testing of the machine. They're gonna come in to make sure the machine is actually supported.
And that will be done with us, with the
And
board,
along with the
the
board.
board and staff.
Okay.
No.
The scheduled dates, the only 2 days that they're giving St. Thomas and that mission is August 5th and 6th. St. Paul will be August 7th and 8th. And I'm asking that each board member please be present at this acceptance testing because it's very important.
After that,
I'm gonna be outside on break, physically, being done. I'm not getting back till the 7th. What?
Can you go to?
wait. What day is that? What day is that? What
Monday
day?
and a Tuesday.
5th and
The
6th?
5th and 6th is a Monday and a Tuesday.
That's the, that's Tortola Festival time too?
There ain't no problem, and I'm going to go.
No, I just want to know that.
Well, yeah,
It sounds like August Monday,
Yeah.
the first Monday of the month.
Yeah.
When you have a chance.
Okay, I'll be here Monday.
But if you can't make a Monday, Tuesday, like.
I'll be here Monday,
Friday.
All right, what I can do, I'm coming back.
I'm not going to say, go ahead.
6, 7, and 8? I can go 7, 8, that's not a problem, I can go no. Put me on, that's not
No,
going to go.
that's you're saying based upon your correspondence with them and your communication with them.
Yeah.
That's for them, the test machine, and for us to accept it. Which is a portion, which is a part of the contract.
Okay, right. Now,
No, go ahead.
the next step of that is what? I mean, in terms of us, once we approve them, then it will be who to make the presentation to the public, us or the company will do it.
I think after we have the opportunity to test the machine and they actually show us how to do it, I think it's just that education at that point.
Okay. It would be on us, on the board, no, to go to the public and, okay.
They have agreed to come back and do a demonstration, but I think after the 5th and 6th is when the board should actually take it over and start education.
And you've already discussed with them that we plan to do that
Yes,
and that we would like for them to come.
yes.
And is there you had any discussion about any charges, additional charges?
They're
Okay.
gonna,
No.
they're willing to do it.
Okay.
We're gonna have the discussion next week.
And you've also had a discussion with them about the availability of additional machines.
Yes. They're gonna,
You want to send us a proposal?
they're gonna send a proposal and they're also gonna, willing to talk to the board on the 5th and 6th.
About it.
And,
You know what about her?
You know, say that,
excuse me, we are going to need a demonstration.
okay. You know, the next question came up with that, and then again, I happened to tune in and listen to you tomorrow. I don't want to vote on no paper. How do I vote? I strictly, if I go in and I say, hand me a paper, I'm gonna tell you no, I want a machine.
As of right now, and Attorney Salisbury, you correct me if I'm wrong, as of right now, we have replacement machines and the subtronic machines have been outlawed by legislation, which in fact forcing us at this point in time to utilize the paper ballot and the DS200 to calculate those paper ballots.
Right.
You don't recall reading it that way? You don't recall that, in fact, the 29th legislature basically outlawed these machines that are not EAC certified? Okay. What you
There are a
mean?
lot of machines that are EAC certified.
Oh, you talk about tech. I'm talking about what's available right now as we speak. Yeah.
You're complaining about the type of machine.
Right, present, yeah, because now, these that we have, these DS200 are actually paper fed. I don't want to do that. I don't want no paper in my hand when I walk in. I want to walk in and punch my name, you know.
Can you speak, Attorney Salisbury, to what they have?
The requirements are optional.
Yeah, optional, if in fact you have some other process that is paper verifiable. That's my reading of it. That's my reading of it.
There is absolutely no reason in the world to have it.
Well, that's my reading of it.
But then again, we're trying to make provisions where if we need additional machines or DS200, we could get them, right? Would we be able to get those that are, if possible, that can you put a name in the program?
Well, I don't know.
Is it something that
How
needs to
about-
look at?
I thought the board only voted for this particular machine.
Well, well, see, because again, just like some people don't want to vote on the machine, and I'm really taking on the question that came into you today. I don't want to go there, no counter and mark nothing, no paper ballot, and then have to stick them on the machine. I want to go there to the machine. We don't have those challenges. It's not difficult to
But
vote.
right now, as we speak, the shoe-drying machines that we have been using are not authorized by law.
Put them in the past.
By voting island law.
They in the past. We moving forward.
Okay.
They in the past.
You suggesting then that we go out and seek a different type of machine that is EAC certifiable?
What does this company, whatever do the DS200 does the same? Or they just put?
I have no idea.
See,
I know nothing about
I'm
it.
just trying to play devil's advocate, because like I said, it doesn't matter to me read one way or the other. I'm just saying
Maybe.
those that say, hey, I
I don't know.
want to do that.
I don't know who was on the selection committee.
I would rather-
The selection committee was Member Wells, Member Bryan, Member Ross,
He himself said he didn't want to.
and I think those three. And then what happened, they had two individuals from,
Come on.
no, not, she went in, election reform, I don't believe she went in. So, two from property procurement and one other, so it was 6 or 7 on the evaluation committee, it wasn't all board members.
But a presentation was made to all the members from the
But
committee.
the selection committee made a decision on this and 2 other companies. This company, I know for sure, made a presentation. Because we had,
Y'all didn't have a vote on it?
yes, well, the vote came to choose this machine, but I can understand where you're coming from on the confusion on if it wasn't clear to the board, to some of the board members, if this was the only machine being used, or if they had a computer version that you don't have, only have to.
Well, you know, some people are now indicating, some people are also pushing now, Mr. Daniel, that, and one person called and asked me if they can take their paper ballot and drop it in a ballot box and not put it in the machine. And that's been, it's been asked of me a number of times why wouldn't they be able to go and drop their paper ballot in a box, in a ballot
Yeah,
box.
but presently, Mr. Chair,
Anyways, once I get,
Oh,
once I
okay.
go and ask.
From what I remember is that if you didn't even want to vote per se, but you would go in, you would be logged in as coming to vote. You would be given your ballot. If you didn't feel like marking one thing on that ballot, you had a right to. And you just stick it in, and the machine would record it accordingly. But your vote would have been accepted, regardless of what. Because you put in there, John Doe comes in, you sign the law. John Doe is handed a paper to go in a little room and check off. It's got, I would assume it's one sheet of paper. It wouldn't be 15 sheets that we've had. It would be one sheet of paper, and if you don't want to put anything on there, you take it still and you jot it in the machine. When the machine prints out, the machine will show that 400 persons voted here today. There should be 400 sheets of paper, even though you did not cast a vote. It's your privilege not to vote for anyone. But you are counted because you walked in there, your name was placed in the log, and you push it in, and then you signed out, which is quite legal and legit. I think we're beating our heads out.
But he didn't ask anything about that.
No, but I'm sharing with you.
Yeah, but that's not what he asked. I thought that's what
I'm sharing with you now. The other thing here, and I am keeping my eye on this, is that there's a company, a sister company to Matulili with the Tutronic machines that is pushing themselves. I am keeping my eyes wide open. I think we need to give what we have an opportunity to be nurtured, see what comes out of it, and then we could, but people who don't know shouldn't be publicizing, because we are creating an impression in the public's mind that we don't know what we want. This was done by people that were on the board, the previous board. Let us give ourselves a chance, because we're only going through motion here, wasting time this afternoon. We have so many other important issues to discuss. The company is coming to demonstrate. People who should have been there for the demonstration were not there. They came a couple of times, and we're going,
Benjamin, excuse me. Was there any scheduled demonstration by ESNL before the acceptance testing? Okay, thank you.
No, there was nothing scheduled, but I'm telling you what has been discussed.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
Nothing was scheduled by this board. Nothing was scheduled by this board. Don't get me wrong.
Was there anything scheduled by the supplier for the Board of Elections, or to in fact, when these machines were arrived here anyway? End of May or middle of June?
Nothing was scheduled.
And so there was nothing that could have been done until the machines came, and in fact we can't do anything until the acceptance testing, correct? Okay, thank you. Anything else on the acceptance testing?
That's it, that's why I want to make sure that everybody's available. Or something you're doing.
I don't know at this point.
The 5th of August I'll be definitely available.
I need a cookie.
In the morning?
I want to put on record is during the presentation, before we voted on this company, he did state that the board members will set the parameters of the machine. So
We did set the...
you're going to set like what you want the machine to say and do when you vote, when you do the voting and the tabulation and all that, that we're going to set it. They're not going to give us a machine without us agreeing on the different tabulation and different structure of how we want it. So everything, like some of the questions you're asking, when he presents on the 5th, could be answered.
Okay. I'll take the prerogative of the chair to skip over D and go to E, if you don't mind.
Yeah, there's no problem, sir.
Okay. ADA matters, I think.
Excuse me, objection.
Okay.
We really need a discussion here on D.
Well, we're not going to have it this minute.
We need it. Are you saying that
We'll pass it over and coming back to it.
you're coming back to it? Okay, I appreciate that.
We have a letter from the U.S. Attorney, Mr. Arnold Shaw, and it involves the somewhat of a congratulation, right? Well, Attorney, maybe Attorney Salisbury, you can characterize it for the board.
As far as I can tell, just a letter acknowledging that your office is now compliant with ADA and will remain so unless that is or otherwise.
And I think what's important about this is it gives us, I believe, the ability to make the application for additional HAVA funds.
Well, it would have
Yes.
Other than the article in the newspaper today.
Which one? What happened today?
That the St. Croix.
I was about to say you can't do nothing without St. Croix being on board. After they were making, after they were making that kind of noise at St. Thomas wasn't in compliance. No, they ain't in compliance and St. Croix.
I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, they're saying they're vigorously looking new sites.
Yeah, but well, when they made that presentation at the joint board,
Yeah.
I don't know that was going to happen. So all we do here wasn't going, when they made a presentation by the lady, and she said before she left that this room isn't in compliance, I don't know it was trouble after that. Because now, as long as it took St. Thomas to get in compliance after St. Croix were bitching, before they had checked themselves to see that they were in compliance, which they never did. They just blazed St. Thomas, and now St. Thomas in compliance. St. Croix.
So that now affects any.
They have not had an official run through and been told what the issues are. Instead of doing that and going through the proper procedure, they're already looking to move elsewhere.
No, but again, Mr. Chairman,
May I have a copy of
you
that?
really don't have to get that letter. There was a training within the last couple of weeks that all the,
That's what it is.
that all agencies of government had to go to.
No way you said it like that.
Thank you.
That all government agencies had to go through, and it spells out that the thing, and you have until, I think, October to begin to make some headway into it.
Yeah, but my concern, Mr. Daniel, is that if we need it, and I think we do need to apply for HAVA funds
To cover this.
to cover this election coming, especially the acquisition or the leasing of additional machines.
Or these card machines, I don't think we have enough money to get these.
I think we have all the money that encumbered, right, Mr. Benjamin? All the money that encumbered.
To pay for everything.
Yeah.
Training and everything. Just the machine. So then how you gonna use a machine if you ain't trained?
Well,
It's
in the contract. We make sure we have the specific numbers for when we go on the 24th, because we're gonna have to tell them everything we're gonna need. Because remember, next fiscal year,
I'm hearing the 24th.
The budget here.
budget,
Budget, okay.
because remember the primary election is gonna fall
In August
in
somewhere.
August, and that's in fiscal year 2015.
14.
14? 14, okay.
But we talked about the budget hearing on July 24th. Who's the attending? Is there,
All of us could have, anybody could have.
yeah, I just double check.
I intend to be there. They didn't send me an invite, but Ms. Wells really don't know nothing about the budget, the St. Thomas St. John district budget.
I think she did the budget.
No, she didn't.
She wanted to do the joint.
The joint board don't have a budget.
That's what I'm saying. So then what budget that she did with the OMB?
She did.
You didn't do a budget with the OMB?
Yes, yeah, budget was done. A budget was done, but Ms. Wells didn't do it. Right, the judge did?
We're speaking.
So, we can talk about, we can need to talk about it. Well, no, we don't have another meeting, until, before that hearing.
Will we have our meeting before we meet for the 5th and 6th?
No,
Just check.
no, we got our meeting to the second, unless you guys want to meet.
No, I just double check.
Well, I think it's important that we meet prior to the 24th, in case there's additional items that we need to go talk about.
Oh, yeah,
before we go to the legislature.
I ain't too worried.
But maybe we can communicate by email. Ms. Benjamin, we're gonna have to, what you may need to do is send to each member a copy of the budget. You just write in, and listen, copy of the budget, so that, anybody may want to have an input in some additional stuff, because I think, and I don't know if we did it, with Georgia, I don't know if we did it, I still think we are underfunded. We still didn't estimate the amount of paper and printing we may need to do, given the fact that we're going to, it's going to be,
Needed.
yeah, because remember now, we're talking strictly paper. We're talking, if we,
And we look
I know how many reams,
we're looking at 2 sets of paper. One to feed the machine, and one, if I don't want to use that, I can go with the general paper balance and go like this.
Well, again,
Until you change the law, Mr. Chairman.
but I don't see how we.
You see what I'm saying? Then one doesn't negate that you need the other one. If you get the one, you don't get rid of the other one. I mean, it doesn't have to
Hold on.
prepare for that.
Okay, Attorney, you were saying something?
I don't know if that's true, I don't have time to recall exactly how it is.
The new piece of legislation, but it authorizes the use of paper ballots.
Now it's going into a box or a machine.
Yeah, but why would we want to create that problem of allowing people to put the paper ballot in a box when these tabulators are here specifically to tabulate the same paper ballots, verify them, and give us a count. Because if we start putting those paper ballots in a box, we asking for spoilage. At a minimum, we asking for spoilage, and we asking for a situation, a security issue. I think we asking for a lot of problems.
Again, I'm just saying. Let me hold up.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Let the record reflect the appearance of Joint Court Chair, Secretary of the St. Thomas St. John District, Alicia M. Wells, who's now present at
ECIA.
At 322.
That's right, came from St. John's. Not like those who used to live on St. John. They won't be there. They live there.
You're talking about me, man.
I was married at the Cat Club.
That's the kind of nastiness we ever sit on.
I see what you want. I asked to say no.
Our ADA matters, that's going to be a problem. Miss Georgia.
Okay, going back on what Harry was saying, and what Daniel was saying pertaining to the paper ballot. I see it the same way you say that those are two different things, and maybe we need to have that interpretation legally, because when that law was enacted, it was an actual paper ballot, and it wasn't something to go into any machine. Nothing plugged in was involved in it. So right now, we have a ballot that happens to go into a machine to be scanned in. To me, that's two separate things. To me, those are two separate things. Paper ballot is paper ballot, and what goes on that ballot that they vote on and is scanned into the machine is something separate.
What are you talking
And I feel, anytime electricity is added to it, to me, that's going with the machine stuff. That's part of it. Just like how when you run the tape from the old machine and it have the printout of everybody's name on it. So I feel that's up for interpretation.
Well,
To me, that's two different things. Because when that law was created, it was created on the premises that this document is something that you vote on and throw in a box. And you counted from the voter coming to those of us on the board who count and of course the team that tallies this stuff. That's what, to me, that's how that works. They have nothing to do with the apparatus part of it, which happen to have a separate paper.
yeah,
I also agree with both members, Daniel and George, and I feel also that if you don't allow that, you're gonna have those people who are not gonna wait in line to want to go to the machine. But then I can understand your side. But I also feel that we should have a little talk with some of the judges who are there at the site that deals with these poor ballots and that dealt with the ballots, especially in the last step. And I was wondering, excuse me, on the 5th and the 6th, is there any provision to have the judges there to be trained?
No, they just it's for the election system. But then wouldn't that be just totally contra the whole purpose of these tabulation machines? It would be totally, it would be
No.
Yeah, well,
Point of getting this kind of machine.
yeah, well, then why would
But
we
then you're gonna have, the point of getting this kind of machine is so that you have a paper trail. right? Does the Versailles law say this machine on BPS 200, as they said with the old Subtronic ones? No, it doesn't say that. It does say
There's no Virgin Islands law that authorized or suggested the purchase of these machines.
Cool, okay. But the Virgin Islands law say that should be paper ballot.
That people are allowed to vote by paper ballot.
Okay, and it is, again, you go back to telling the argument that it doesn't specify paper ballots.
Okay.
How, in what fashion?
It doesn't specify paper ballots in what fashion. Paper ballot. We always use paper ballots in the election.
Okay, that's
The
correct.
absentee voter,
That's
absentee
correct.
votes is paper ballot.
Yes.
The walk-in votes are
That's
paper
correct.
ballots.
Right.
Provision.
And the provisional ballots are put for paper.
Ballot, and they want to sit and have paper.
So those would remain in the system.
Well, again, I believe they will allow for, and that's a decision that we're going to have to make.
But I agree with you, they still have to have the walk-in, they
We
still
can-
have to have the meal,
we can have
and they
the-
still have to have provision, so I
Provisional
have to say yes.
Yeah.
I'll let them have to do.
We can still have provisional ballots, we can still have absentee ballots where we mail out,
Yes.
and we're still going to have the walk-ins,
Alright.
right? That are not going to go through the machine. Because,
All right.
because remember now, but those are specific circumstances that cause them not to be put through the machine. Because we assume, and I'm not sure yet, because this is sitting on the board, because we can, if I understand correctly, we can, from the time we start early voting, have a tabulator which will count the walk-in ballot, walk-in voters one time.
We can't have a
We can.
calculator up and operational for Janjo walks in,
Yes,
and then Mary Jane walks in, and then for another 2 to 3 days nobody comes.
but remember,
And then
remember the day of election, those machines, that machine will not, we have walk-ins, do we have walk-ins on the day of election?
Yes.
I often. So, the night, that machine will not be, the day of election will be the last day it's used. You can start to use it from the time we start.
2 weeks before election.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I'm coming back, these ballots are going to be there. We gotta keep them. And all I'm saying is, when I go to the booth and they give me a paper or something with everybody's name, I gotta fill out and I gotta come and stick it in the machine. And I said, no, I don't want that. I want the paper ballot that was non-government, was non-law that I can use, that I can map my exit, fold it up and stick it in the traditional ballot. Yeah, but that's on the books.
At the poll, but you can do it at the poll?
But is that our decision?
It's our decision.
No.
Because remember, we're counting.
You know what, we had a big problem that we didn't people ballots, just like Mr. Bouchard said, and I believe, remember, when we asked them for paper, more additional paper ballots, we were told, that part of the thing. So we don't want to get caught in that predicament again.
You say you want an opinion?
We need to make sure that we are doing the right thing.
I make a motion.
Ain't nobody nice.
Motion.
I move that we wait until August 5th and 6th it is, when we have individuals who are here representing the company. That way we can get true answers. None of us, don't make any decisions on anything anyway. So I move that we wait until August 5th and 6th, whatever day the company is going to be here, so that we could continue.
Okay, that's your motion?
The
That's your motion?
functions of the machine, yes.
That's your motion?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just going to change it.
Will that go a
I'll write it
second?
down.
Okay, motion dies.
I'd like to make a recommendation.
Ms. Benjamin?
Because we don't have much time for the primary election. Question I can ask Alexa and software, because you're gonna have to choose a ballot style. You cannot use the same paper ballots, absentee ballots, all that will have to change. And if we are changing it, the code have to change. So So joint board still gonna have the last meeting, joint board gonna have to leave an official, because the law gonna have to change too.
Well, first of all, you know, we have a problem. Because unless and until the legislature acts, we can't do anything. Okay.
So I'm just saying, if it wouldn't make sense that we try to hash out questions now instead of waiting till the fifth.
Well, then we need to do that privately. We need to each individually come up with what questions we need to ask and get prepared.
They can come.
Okay. Any old business that we need to discuss? Yes,
You were
ma'am.
talking about the ADA.
Yeah.
Before we got into that. Anything else?
On that?
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything else on it yet.
Okay, what about this? I know we can't take care of any of, putting that committee together until we get on at the joint board meeting. But we don't know what you
ADA with what? I don't understand.
for the state plan. Because we're gonna have to have that over this.
The state plan is not district, is it?
No, it's not joint board, it's from just asking, remember we had a discussion the last time?
We did.
We don't have the answers.
And I think we said that we would come up, we would make suggestions in terms of people.
For at least our district.
And my suggestion was to have Ms. Wells designation to lead that contingent.
Come back with that. I like how you combine it, just, he take out the conjunction and,
That's like when you're in class, you know,
you
already.
know,
So-
I recall stating I was in the committee, I still don't recall this chair.
I think the only one that won't get committee, so a friend of yours.
Okay,
That's
that's
why.
more
The
business.
only one that won't get committee is
And
that
also,
Doing more business.
also, again, for our nice office that we're sitting in, see, we're so lucky, at least the state court they can come over here, so
That's correct.
our business
We can't
is
go to a
not,
non-sanction office.
our business is not stopped. And I would like to publicly thank Ms. Monsanto. She was the person, believe it or not, who.
Sure she
to
get
my
kicked back?
knowledge,
I will sue you, you know.
found this office that we're able to sit in.
Go beyond.
There's a notice from somebody in St. Croix said that the next joint board meeting should be held here.
Elsewhere.
In St. Croix,
Well, I mean, if we could
You
find
know, this is
another
still
place.
not acknowledged, one of them still
She
didn't
said,
say, acknowledge that.
I
She
just
just
signed
signed
record
record.
two, for meetings and the GRS, old GRS building and the board of education. So I asked
You
him,
know,
like,
Board of Education.
And-
Curriculum Center is a better thing. Board of Education.
In St. Croix? I've never been there anyway. Any other items on the old business?
No, the same thing. It's a letter from Mr. Sharp, right? And this is the easiest.
We already passed ADA matters in.
Wait, no, would like to make a statement, if you don't mind, with regard to the letter.
Huh?
With regard to the letter. I'd like to make a statement. This is the easiest thing and the only thing that this Mr. Sharp's office has submitted or looked into. The only thing is to acknowledge that indeed we have a nice place with which to have meetings. But there's so many other issues, challenges that brought to his
Mr.
attention
Chairman.
that he had neglected. I just want the record to show that. That's the easiest thing he did.
Yeah, Ms. Monsanto, that's neither here nor there.
No, I want the record to show that because I know what challenges.
You have a personal vendetta with the U.S. Attorney's Office, then deal with that. Yeah. We're not gonna deal with
I
that.
want the record to show what
Once again,
I have to say about
Yeah.
it.
just let the record show it.
Yeah. Anything else on the old business?
did we hear anything from the legislature regarding the contacts you made with?
Yes.
Is that somebody, is that?
I gave a little statement on that earlier. Somebody gave Clifford Graham the legislation prior to the official submission of the documents to the president, and he has authorship of it. So It's pending. Whoever gave it to him should go back and tell him he needs to move it so that we can become compliant.
Somebody from our board gave it?
I believe so. I believe so.
All right, Ron.
So, but that's it's just held up. The president tried to sponsor it, but he was told he was
You sure that the media understands that? That's where it will be, not the board no more?
Well, I don't know if I don't know the media is aware of it. I think they'll have a copy of the letter and then they can follow up with the senators to see where it is.
We're in old business?
Old business?
Is that what we're on now?
Yes.
Okay. Motion. Since we're in old business.
Motion.
Okay.
Let's see if this one gets second.
The pursuant to Title 18, Chapter 3, it's a long motion, Section 47. The board is mandated to investigate election frauds, irregularities and violations of this title, and report all suspicious circumstances to the Virgin Islands Department of Justice for possible prosecution. The board is responsible. The discovery of broken, let me finish my motion. The discovery of broken seals, I have not finished the motion. Motion takes precedent. The discovery of broken seals on the paper ballot bins for the senatorial and board of election races for St. Thomas St. John constitute a security breach and certainly a suspicious circumstance. I move that the board comply with Title 18 mandate and immediately initiate an investigation into the cause of the broken seals, formalize findings into a written document, and report said findings to the Attorney General. The board has a responsibility. I move that we comply with Title 18 mandate. It's according to law. Investigate and report to the Attorney General's office your findings.
You so move?
I so move.
Harry, no second.
I didn't hear you. What you said?
Harry, no second.
Harry, no second.
Motion failed.
May the
Alright.
records show my motion.
And the record should fail twice.
What was that?
We have a letter.
What was that, Mr. Chairman?
I believe the letter, everybody have a letter that was sent to Ms. Wells, Mr. Watlinden, and Ms. Benjamin, dated July 1, 2013. Yes.
Motion.
No motion is on our record.
You have one of these?
This whole
I know
letter?
what you're referring to.
This whole letter?
She gave the computer still on your hand.
This whole letter.
Okay. I didn't know that.
And that letter basically says makes the same accusation as the motion, the same accusation that was embodied in the motion that was failed, and among other things. So everybody has it. I am going to respond to it in terms of acknowledging it. Basically, I will not give it any type of substantive response other than to acknowledge it. It speaks for itself. I know of no such fraud that is alleged in the letter. You know of any reason we have to conduct an investigation of any fraud having to do with the November 2012 election? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Benjamin. No, I say you know of any. Huh? No. But you know.
That's the board's responsibility.
Yeah. I'm asking you as
The board's responsibility.
as a deputy supervisor, acting deputy supervisor, has there anything come to your attention that fraud had been perpetrated or was perpetrated during the November 2012 election that you need to bring to the board's attention based on any breakage of any boxes or any bins or anything of that nature?
ask.
I'm asking you, as custodian of those records. Who is?
The supervisor custodian of the record.
You, well, you're the acting.
No.
Yes. I
I
mean,
wasn't responsible for the ballot back then, and I didn't move the acting. What they're asking here is clearly in the record
okay.
here.
But do you know of any fraud that was committed?
So I
You
don't know
personally?
about it.
Huh?
Me personally.
Okay, thank you. All right. All right. Any board member have anything else about any issue that we need to conduct any investigation on?
No.
Okay. All right. All right. We almost finished.
Okay, motion. Motion again,
Motion.
motion.
Motion is out of order at this point. We go back to our discussion and resolution of the issues surrounding the public use of the conference room and examination of
Okay,
records.
okay. Motion on that.
Your motion is not going to be accepted at this time. If there's something to move, then we move it. Ms. Benjamin, you called me sometime, I believe, to indicate someone was in here climbing on chairs and trying to go up in the roof to try to get access up into the ceiling, and that a board member and or other members of the public came here and called the police and was trying to force you to in fact make a police report regarding something up here. I think the board members need to understand what happened, and we need to make a decision about whether or not we're going to continue to allow the public to come in here and be disruptive and go up in the roof and things like that, claiming that there's cameras up there and calling the police and making accusations as if there's some criminal activity occurring up there. Could you tell the board, please, what happened, and so that the board can determine where we're going to go with this situation?
According to staff, it was Friday, June 28th. Mr. Julian,
I understand his name is Julian Warner.
Ms. Diana Grass had Julian stand in a chair, push the ceiling tile up, and was attempting to look through the security system.
I had it to you.
And of course they asked about the security system. They said
When you
that
say today, you got to say who.
Diana Grass said that they looked on the internet and they realized that that is a video, and that we have been videotaping their entire. I was asked, I came in the room shortly after that, I was asked about the security system, if they can see the security system. People Diana Grass. I said no, and I walked out. According to staff, Diana Grass said that she was going to call the police to see the security system. And it started from there.
What's that?
The 911 was called. That's when Diana Grass reported the broken seal to the police officer. And she asked the police officer to check the security system to see what was happening. So the police officer said it was not in their jurisdiction. She called in her supervisor to assist.
So many police came.
3.
Yes, sir. Honestly, I had a tiger at my place. I already had about 15 hours, I remember.
And what was the outcome? The police said what?
The police basically told them that they're not authorized to see the election system security system. And they also spoke with us and said the same thing as having a house. You cannot come to an establishment and ask to see someone else's security system.
We also had some, I understand also that the members of the officer supervisor is having some difficulty with one of our board members in terms of them demanding certain things of the office staff.
Was the newspaper writing that down?
or attempting to intimidate them into doing certain things. Am I characterizing that properly based upon what I heard on Friday?
They said they don't feel comfortable, member Monsanto, based on her hearing a little bullying, making certain comments, but I prefer it's not for themselves, but you know what they said. Of course, based on Title 18.
So bullying in the sense of aggressive?
Yes, based on Title 18 Section 4, all employees of the election system shall be responsible to the joint board to the supervisor of the election.
Correct.
So there's no supervisor of the election, so they'll have to actually come to Rachel and Benjamin. And no employee for the system shall report or take instruction from the joint board of election except through the supervisor of the election.
Correct.
Through the chair.
And the employees are saying, and I think I heard them say that Ms. Monsanto continually goes to them to in fact force them to give up information and or speak to them as if she is their boss. Am I characterized?
That is
What
not
is
true.
that? Am I characterizing what I heard on Friday? Properly?
Call them in here. I'd like to know which one of them. I would like to know which one, through the chair. If you don't mind, Mr.
One
Chair.
experience I know I had, was kind of conflicting, was it happened on July 1st. And Monsanto came in here. You asked for
Well, David.
Thanks for the ballot boxes.
Back on record.
you submitted your correspondence. You asked for examination of record on form. And you mentioned to me that one of your group members of that time sheets in here. Then you said, one of them is gonna come. Ask for indulgence, they could come in and look for the time sheets. You said one of your members was denied access. And I asked you, were they denied access? You said, maybe not by you, the Benjamin, but they were denied. I said, you sure about that? You went on your phone, you make your phone calls. When your group members came. And what's somehow very strange to me is that member said that there was a bank card that was left in here. And you told me time sheets. Then you went forward to say there was keys. I didn't appreciate that. I really did not appreciate that myself. Tally sheets,
Okay.
bank card, keys. I did not appreciate that.
Can I, through the chair?
Wait,
You wanted to come back in here
Okay, finish your
for a
sentence.
reason. Attorney Wellington said it was closed in reference to anyone coming back in here. You didn't have to lie. You
Lie
didn't
about
have
what?
tally sheets. So you telling me it was tally sheets? Then when your group members came, say it was bank card, and the person gonna have to come back and bring the police to get his bank card. Then you turn around and say it was keys. I don't have time to be playing games.
I was told, yeah, you
And
know.
that's what I
wait,
said.
I want to
And that's what I said.
Hold on,
What was
Tom.
surprising-
Hold on. Good. I want to also say something so that we can get everything out, and we may need to go into executive session since it's going to might get to.
No, I need to make a response.
Hold on. You get a chance to make a response.
I'm not gonna sit here.
Madam Chair,
and
but
have her say what
hold on,
she
you will
wants
get a
to
chance
say.
to, you get a chance to respond.
Okay?
You will get a chance to
I'm not gonna sit
respond.
here and hear what she has
You
to
can
say.
get a chance to
because
respond.
it's all lies.
This is very important that we try to resolve this issue. There have been a number of requests for examination of records. What I see happening here now, and what is going on now, is that we are allowing people to go back over the ballots and recount ballots and in fact indicate whether or not a certification that was given by this board was accurate or inaccurate. That is not, from my thought process, that is not inspection and examination of records, of a record. I am seeing and hearing and understanding that people are coming in here and recounting the paper ballots to determine whether or not the certification and the numbers in the certification is consistent with the existence of these paper ballots. And I'd like to ask Attorney Salisbury, I'm not putting you on the spot. Do you?
Before she responds,
Wait, and then you can respond because
let her
you
refer.
remember, Ms. Santo, you are one of the people.
Let her look at Title 18,
You are one of the
Chapter
people.
3,
You are one of the
Chapter 3.
people who.
And you will see that the law allows
is a-
public access to public records without obstruction. The board has no discretion
Okay.
whether to
Yes.
allow. You have no
I
discretion
don't believe
as to whether to allow
that
the
it
viewing of
means
public records.
that a recount at this point by individuals who have filed lawsuits with
By the
the
way, we
Superior
won the
Court,
lawsuit. We won the lawsuit
with
that
the
was
Superior
filed. We
Court,
won the lawsuit that was
with the
filed.
District Court has the right now in July to come into the ballot boxes or to recount the ballots to try to prove that the board certification of the November 2012 election was consistent with what exists on these paper ballots.
And we
That's
won
what
the
you-
lawsuit by default because you took no action whatsoever. So we won that lawsuit by default as a matter of looking at the public records. We won that lawsuit by default.
Attorney Salisbury, do you believe that the
Check with the
recounting
Superior
of
Court.
paper ballots in July is part of the public access, the public's access to public records of the government of Rhode Island? Huh?
All it says is that that the documents shall be open to public inspection and may be inspected and copied.
And copy.
But what I'm saying, but do you believe that we have gone too far in terms of allowing people to pick up these ballots and count them, and we sit down here all day and we count?
Public inspection permitted shall only be in the presence of a member or authorized employee of the board.
And we
And
did
shall be subject to proper regulation. for
We didn't have that.
safekeeping of the-
What we have been doing is allowing them to look at them, but in fact what is happening is that people are in, Sharon, Ms. Benjamin, am I correct? There is a process going on wherein these ballots has been a request for people to count these ballots. They're recounting the ballots. Okay. Does the board feel that we should continue to allow that?
It's the law that we have the right. No jurisdiction according to law.
Alright.
That's the law.
You know, who is the board member or the employee that sits and watches what they do?
Ms. Benjamin from time to time assigns someone to sit here.
To sit here and watch what they do?
Yes, observe,
That's right.
observe.
And do the work.
They could do that.
I'm troubled with this whole scenario, this whole.
Mr. Mushaldi?
Even coming here, Mr. Chairman, today and finding out the votes scattered here on the table with no control, all of that.
It's been
Lock
locked.
and key.
In here, on the desk,
That's
Locked.
what they leave.
on the desk,
Yes, but it's locked.
today.
It's locked.
Yesterday too.
It's locked.
It was so when we did it, when we go over the other part. Ms. Monsanto sat there every day and watched everything, all of a sudden now, it's wrong. mean,
I don't understand the purpose
I
of
don't.
recounting, allowing somebody to recount ballots
I don't.
after you certified the election.
The law includes that
The law
the
allows.
public has a right, if they so determine and they want to do that, they have a right to it.
Especially
The
when
mayor
there's
does
something
not
wrong with it.
have no discretion in the
I have
matter.
nothing to say.
Mr. Chair,
Are we going to continue to allow it?
before you continue.
It's a law.
I need to
I
ask.
wish I would, let me, please report who says no.
No, Ms. Wells?
I don't think.
No?
No, 9410 means
Need a
different.
motion.
That's not a
Okay,
motion.
So I would move that we discontinue the access
Yeah, somebody
to,
moved
to,
that.
to the, for the purpose of
Let
recounting
somebody
the
move.
ballot.
Mr. Chairman, I so move that we discontinue the counting of the ballots as they are presented being done. So move.
Any second?
Second.
Move that you figure out how else it can be done. Since they want to discontinue.
Is the law
Any objection?
Yes.
I
object
because it's a law.
Vehemently object.
The public, I appreciate your objection, but you don't have
Vehemently
a
object,
say.
because you are, the law,
Okay, roll call.
the law is
No need to
specific.
call.
You all are violating the law,
Exactly.
violating the law in every instance, every instance. Here it is, public inspection of records and documents.
Okay.
The public inspection permitted by this section shall only be in the presence of a member of an authorized witness, and it shall be subject to proper regulation.
No, but you could talk, I mean, you know.
Before you come, may I asked you earlier about access to the chair to Ms. Benjamin, if you don't
There's
mind.
a motion on the floor.
It's been objected.
There's an objection on also.
in violation of the law?
And your, the
As an
attorney
attorney
should
be
Sits quiet.
know that they violated the law.
Mr. Chair, the law is being violated again. Again, the law is being violated again. I just told you that we won that by default. We checked the
Exactly.
court.
You violated.
Check the court and see where it
And there's a
stands.
law in violation.
Roll call.
You,
Lawrence, Larry Shelton, yes. Harry A. Daniel,
Yes.
Claudette A. Georges,
no.
no.
Good for you, Todd.
Lydia Hendricks, absent. Wilma Marsh Monsanto,
No.
no. Arturo Watlington Jr.,
Yeah.
yes. Alicia Well, yes. 4 yes, 2 no, 1 absent.
The motion carries. Ms. Benjamin,
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Again.
anybody can inspect
Again.
any records they want, they're not, nobody will be going into the boxes and counting.
Before you, Mr. Chair, through the chair to Ms. Benjamin, if I'm waiting to be acknowledged. If I open my
Okay,
mouth.
To reduce it.
Through the chair
Yes, ma'am.
to Ms. Benjamin. Through the chair to Ms. Benjamin. Ms. Benjamin, when the individuals came in to count the ballots or work with the ballots, were you not the one who brought the bins out? Or the bin, the particular bin, and dropped it right there on the floor?
No.
You didn't bring, you didn't drop that in there on the
No.
floor? Who did? May I ask?
Mr. Julian.
He lifted it for you, but you brought it there.
No.
Mr. Julian went in the back room and got the bin?
A gentleman brought it out.
I think,
When the bin, when it came out, was it
I
not
like to,
open?
I like to
The
make a
seal was
motion,
open?
I like to make a motion to go into
Julian,
executive session because we're gonna have the,
I have something to say.
I can do anything. I like to make a motion that
I
we
will understand
Benjamin. Okay, I like to make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss the internal personnel activity, the internal personnel matters regarding this office and the member that is being accused of disrupting this office, and we'd like to bring in the other employees so they could understand.
Motion, so moved.
So moved.
Motion,
I made the motion.
motion, having to do with the employee. I
All
have a
right,
motion.
we're in executive session. Okay, please. That's what you need to say. Any objections? Any objections?
You're violating the law by not allowing us to go back.
Because, see, right, Stephanie knows that.
Roll call.
When on with an individual who's coming to register to vote,
Harry A. Daniel.
misbehaving, nasty,
Claudette Georges,
ask the man what he was doing here.
absent. Wilma Marsh Monsanto, Arturo Watlington Jr.,
Yeah.
Alicia Well,
Public inspection of records,
5
that's the law.
yes,
They have no right.
was.
They have no right, they can't do it, they do everything illegal.
Yeah.
Everything illegal,
No, abstain.
everything illegal.
Okay, we're in executive session.
Speaking for me, we'll be in touch. I mean,
No. I don't think so. What? That's your opinion, I mean.
it is important to note that employee Richardson was the only one not in executive session, and she indeed said she has no problem with Ms. Monsanto. So anyone can contact her, and no, she has no problem with Ms. Monsanto. The other two do. Ms. Joseph and Ms. Vincent. Ms. Benjamin has left, Ms. Richardson has left for the day. Ms. Richardson has left for the day.
Ms. Marlena, she should know it is. All right.
Because these people could change pages. Send Diane something that we could go sit down. We'll see if
Motivation for
all
all.
trying to make it personal because I am with the board and I am not with them.
Back on the record, we all in executive session.
You understand?
We're going to continue.
Okay, professional photographer, bill of all trades.
Executive session. We discussed, you're a man?
That's what
Oh. Yes, I know Amanda because she always called in my house that she know what to call.
we discussed the persons who were suggested by a personal committee for deputy supervisor for the St. Thomas, St. John district because email had been sent to Sharon that were never received by her, and we acknowledged that, and Raymond acknowledged that on Tuesday when we had our special joint board meeting. We also discussed having Member Watlington prepare a draft letter to go to the person selected for the supervisor of election.
We also discussed having Member Watlington also bring to our board for presentation to probably the joint board and the state board to see what they think about certain issues that we must address wholesale as it refers to election reform and the primary and anything else that's coming up with election.
And most importantly, we had a discussion and we heard from the members of the office supervisor regarding problems that they have with board member Wilma Marsh Monsanto, and specifically events that occurred on June 27th and June 28th. And we also discussed the, as you said, we specifically discussed salaries and the salary of the deputy and the salary of the supervisor. Okay, Mr. Daniel, do you have any motion?
Motion, Mr. Chair. My motion is that motion to suspend member Wilma Monsanto for 2 meetings of the district board for violation of fiduciary duties to the board of election. So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Objection.
Objection?
Yes.
Yeah, you. Okay, roll call on the motion.
All right, no objection.
Yeah, objected to by Ms. Monsanto. Roll call.
Roll call. Lawrence Larry DeShelton,
Yes.
Harry A. Daniel,
Yes.
Gordon A. Georges,
No.
Noel Lydia Hendrick,
Yes.
Wilma Marsh Monsanto,
No.
no. Arturo Watlington Jr.,
Abstain.
abstention.
Madam Chair,
Mr.
Madam
Evans,
Secretary,
yes.
can you change my vote to yes?
You making a mockery?
Turu Watlington Jr. change it to yes.
You can have January, how you pronounce it last name?
So you have 5 yes.
You can have January and the
Two no. 5 yes, 2 no. The motion is carried.
All right, Ms. Monsanto, the board has voted that you are suspended from attending as a board member our next 2 district board meetings in August and September of this year. If you have a right to appeal to the joint boards and or to any other body that you may feel fit to appeal to.
They suffer the consequences.
Is there any other business that we need to attend to? Any other business?
Mr. Chairman, you know, I had a recommendation for when we get these machines up and running
Did we discuss a date?
that we do.
Yeah, 5th and 6th.
Yeah, 5th and 6th. That we do before the election next year, we do a run at drive-through where we're letting you know at the high schools and see how fast those readers can operate.
And
Way in advance so that we can get an idea.
And as was recommended by Ms. Benjamin, we will have a public education process wherein we will have, we'll have them in various, like a election expo.
But I don't want the expo alone. I want to use.
Yes, you want them to be used.
The students at that.
Maybe we can get UVI, I think UVI is in October, or something like that. They have the student election.
Like a happy election to see how.
Yeah, I'm saying UVI have, election for their students, maybe, or any other school.
So that we can see how they.
I think that's a very good idea.
To be prepared.
Okay?
All right. Motion, Mr. Chair.
Motion.
I move that the meeting be adjourned.
No objections? So done. 5:07.
You have this recording right to have before.
The same question.
5:07.
No, I mean the procedure.
But you know what?
August, right?
I'm meeting on the 31st.
Miss Hendricks. No, just for you. No, just for you. I want you to give me the eye. No, just for you. I know you're going to help. I know. 5:07. I know you couldn't help yourself. You have to look at me to say, yes, this, so and so.
Okay.
That's why, well, I have stayed for that purpose, just for her to give me the eye.
I have to take them.
I will- Yes.
One of these I had.
But you know that, but I don't know if you realize,
It's huge.
and if you realize, more than likely, there's going to be a swing to remove you as jail.
That was, yesterday,
There's going to be a swing voucher.
She got to move. Okay, you gotta go.
I don't get any more money from you. I don't feed me. I don't have to know my son. I know my son.
I know if we change
You know the one
leadership
to
of the
remove
joint
her
board
in the
now,
joint meeting?
we can be polarized from now to the end.
The one to remove Alicia Wells and put board Maria.
We be polarized.
Chair.
And I want you to understand something. We have to discuss this budget, we have to get some input in it. You know that. You know that.
Are they still
Change the budget.
Who did the budget?
Are they still nominated?
Turo? Was Sharon the speaker?
I asked Sharon, she don't want to do.
Yeah, but they.
She was with Turo original. We had Miss Morris and do that.
One minute, you tell me that you tell me no. I can't.
Is the meeting adjourned?
Everybody wants bill.
But you have to sign it.
Anyway,
Go shelter.
I don't
Go
need
shelter.
any bill.
Meeting adjourned?
This week.
What time on the 20th was it? I don't know if I
okay, yeah, exactly what you are, just tell me what you got. For the 5th and
I have
6th.
my appointment is the 15th.
Is it 5th and 6th?
That's
6th of August, yeah.
What does that mean?
So it would be other reasons.
As part of the contract, that they would come and run through the machine and we would test it.
On their full page. All things work together for good. Exactly. I don't see not good coming out of this. I got 3 court cases of my own and they all proceed. And listening to the all proceed. Someone take this to the jail. They need to go to jail for the wrong thing they have done.
They went outlawed by law.
They've done her.
We don't believe that the recounting of the ballots.
We're talking about the and I feel like we just like little children in a classroom back here.
So when can we come in to examine the ballots again?
Exactly.
And take notes?
Exactly.
I hear what justification he gives.
We don't believe that's consistent with the law.
Thanks, Sharon.
Good work. I like all the good work.
Selling or something to try to
You gonna write that in, get me a secretary.
Well, she is the secretary.
I did all the day.
Oh, you were the secretary, I did. Oh, when you were the secretary, I did your work.
Yeah. You want me to be the secretary.
Good.
Because you need the public staff, I have exactly had to jump in.
I piss off Abby.
I get left for some reason. I don't know.
Oh, my piss off Abby.
I really can.
They piss off Abby. That's just a false statement there.
No. That's one of the
My skin is
If that's one of the I would tell everybody.
Is this when you just
Part of the problem.
Exactly.
Is this when you just took?
I look forward to performance.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
You see, the man can
So you can with public records.
And you tell me,
The ballots don't have no names on them.
does the deputy, I speak to his boss.
Ballots don't have any name on them.
I told, yeah.
You have them.
So we don't work on that.
What would be the purpose of reviewing a ballot that's already been
Why are you
sorted?
asked to keep them for 2 years?
So.
Why does the law require you to hold them? Well, it states,
What do you think, what would be the purpose of recounting them?
of recounting them?
Because it's been counted and certified. What would be the purpose of
Well, you
recounting?
know where my interest had through Wablanton, to be very honest with you? My name was noted as a right-wing candidate and was never brought to the certified document. That concerned me, especially when I sat
Exactly. And when we found.
and heard my name called and noted by 3 tallies. That made me wonder what else could be wrong on this
Exactly.
document personally. And that is my input on this. And I have
Exactly.
pictures of my name on the tally sheet. So I have reason to have
Exactly.
concern.
Exactly.
And the course of action now?
The course of action for me has been to review the
Exactly.
and take notes as I do that. And take notes as I do that.
So when can we come in?
So that's what I would like to be able to have the freedom to do because the law states that you are required to hold it for 2 years and the public has the freedom to look at this.
I believe you have a right to review the tally sheet, not count the ballots.
Again, I'm interested in reviewing all the
Because your
documents,
ballots-
including ballots. I'm interested in reviewing ballots.
That's where the lie lies. That's where the lie lies in the balance. You're going through that, you take it.
I'd like to look at
Why?
Okay, establish a date that I can review this.
That's where the lie lies.
This document? Okay, no problem. Can I get the address and information needed because I've never
I
had
think you
the
have a card in there,
privilege
like, let me see, it should be on one of the elections.
Another letter?
No, I'd like to request to review the ballots and review the tally.
According to law.
I'm interested in reviewing.
Yeah. And the law allows you to.
Return to our agenda.
Invoice?
The law allows you to play games, playing around with people's emotions.
Diane?
Oh, sorry, I'm taking
No, you're not in the way. I was willing to use, you even had to, if you put the copy machine there, and we reduce those things. In bed, not a big size of paper. You can't reduce. Can't reduce.
I know the technology, and there's a lot of pages. No, we don't need to do that. They ain't got a problem with us reviewing and taking notes.
I said, I know how to communicate with you. I didn't tell you what my course action is, and not what I have to. You asked one question, what is my purpose for being in here?
No.
Now that they got a camera, they could look at this from the
Reviewing. You call them recounting, I call them reviewing and taking notes.
And we could start tomorrow morning at 2, right? At 8 o'clock?
He has instructed me that I would need, that I would need to make a request, a formal request to Ms.
But we already
Benjamin.
had started, it's just to continue. We don't need to do that.
That's okay, I'm going to be specific in my request to review tallies and ballots of the election 2012.
And then she walked with you and there you are.
And I'm free to make notes.
Right. You will do that, all right? And make a copy and stamp it.
Wait, take a piece of paper and write it down at one time.
Share put it in. I've already messed it up. Table it.
What time are Peter? It's 5 o'clock. 5:20.
Okay.
I'm going to the restroom.
So, unless you can pull up a few people.
When they should be sanctioning the employees, but they're doing that. The woman was nasty to that man. I am the one to decide. They want to do what they want to do.
I went to the security system.
When they no good at that.
Yeah, turn on the security. Turn on the alarm.
Turn on the camera. Why it's so funny that they could take out but we can't do it one I can't understand. I don't understand. If we have a camera, what's the problem? They should be black. And then they don't move with it.
The agenda. Rule policy.
You can do it over there, right? I don't know if you could do that.
Rule policy.
Then we were wrong.
Yeah, double check. Hey, you just called me, right?
Did roll call at the beginning.
5:03. About 10 minutes ago. You called me at 5:03, 10 minutes ago. Yeah, what happened? Still in the meeting. I'm leaving just now. Huh?
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Huh? I leave it just now. You are? So when did he say we could? You are? A Toro. That's good. But when did you say we could resume? I know she put in her request.
I didn't say that you were Benjamin.
I know that, okay. Oh, that's Miss Benjamin. Oh, you can get in. Go ahead. When we can resume.
When they can review.
Can we?
Review the inspection.
Yeah, I have a resume.
I'll call you tomorrow then.
Okay, we can start 8 o'clock in the morning. This, we only resuming, you know.
The office have limited resources and somebody has to be in here. And Mr. Warner ain't can't come in here. He already violated.
Where he can't come in, he didn't violate anything.
Yeah, he always happened.
No, he didn't violate
Stop speaking
anything.
to anybody else. Mr. Warner, if Mr. Warner come up, Sharon, ask him if he can't come in here.
He did not violate anything.
Okay? He's the one going up in the room without
Mr.
permission.
Warner,
Okay?
no, because we asked Ms. Benjamin for a ladder.
You asked me for a letter?
Yeah, you don't remember? catch on. I sure they have a lot of me.
Yeah, I asked, and you said, no, you don't have that. I didn't know you and it ain't nothing about Julian and him doing anything. We asked for a lot of, I asked for a lot of. Julian, even if he stood on the chair, it was with an employee there. It was with an employee there. We didn't do anything. We couldn't reach, we couldn't see nothing. We asked.
Do you and Mr. Watson talk about?
Yes.
You know the camera?
No. Stand on this. One of maybe one of them.
It's all crispy we ever did.
Yeah. So my thing is,
Yes.
my thing is, no, Mr. Warner could come in here if he want to. They're trying to say Julian can't come in here.
They don't put a restriction by law. Let them put a written document and then it's a public building.
Exactly.
He never come in here disrupt. And I heard
But
him.
that's what he said. I tell him he had nothing to do with it. I said, what happened to the lot I asked Miss Benjamin for? How we couldn't see, and we were curious, so we just asked.
What up in there have to do with you?
I just telling you,
But what
they
okay,
don't
now,
have nothing to do with
That's why you tell the people up there to go dig it, they go in the ceiling.
Nothing to do with you, do it.
Listen, I telling Sharon already, the person who went up in there, he have no, I tell Carla.
It was an employee was here, nobody could go up there, we asked for a lot.
Why are you going up there? Why are you requesting? Why are you requesting? That is not the public information.
And when this is finished, everybody knows this is being taped.
This is surveillance
No,
tape.
but there's, by law, you're supposed to have,
Tomorrow, is this yours? You're leaving?
Yeah,
posted on the
we-
door, even if you don't show it, that's fine, but you're supposed to have it posted on your door by law.
Since you've been in here,
I know, everybody know which way to get to the court. The directions to the court, so, yeah. And I ain't ready to go.
Oh, you bring
I'm gonna harass
The
again.
donkeys still brain? The donkeys are still brain. Are they ready to go?
I waited for my copy of my document that I just filed and it's being locked.
I like the way you stand up. I like the way you stand up. You're a member of the board, but you stand up.